Okay, welcome back to the Odd Topic Podcast. This is episode number 61. You've probably seen this guy's artwork around like Green Bay, like all around downtown. He does a phenomenal job of like all this artwork that he does. This is Beau Thomas. Thank you again for being on the podcast. It truly is an honor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cody. Great being here in 61.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been doing pretty good so far, and I'm really grateful for like businesses helping me out too, like promoting everything as well. But like my first question for you is like, what got you into art? Like,
Yeah, for me it was pretty early. It was like 10 to 14 years old. I'm really into skateboarding, and then at 14, the transition from skating to graffiti happened.
mm-hmm.
So, friends were into it who skated, and, there's such a rich culture of imagery and graphics and skateboarding that it's kind of like an artistic thing already.
Yeah.
People drawing on their skateboards or just being really creative with stuff. But yeah, 8th grade, I discovered graffiti, and it kind of blows my mind. Like, how are these trains getting painted?
Yeah.
What does it say? What's all this color? Where did it come from? And I put down my skateboard and went really, really into graffiti for, I think it's, coming on 15, 18 years ago now.
Yeah,
so,
man, that's crazy.
yeah, it's just stuck with me this whole time. And working through like high school, that was my drawing years, so really practicing in sketchbooks. And then like maybe 17 years old, I started getting out and doing some illegal painting in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
The bridge down the way caught my tag, and then back of a business in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
I'll paint something on there. So I started doing real illegal graffiti, and then consequences started coming. I think I was a couple times from like 15 to 20. I had interactions with police and court cases.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I got to dip my toe into that whole world, and by college I study art, and I leave college with my business already started.
Oh, okay.
And from graduation on, I was just running my business as a full-time artist. So I'm pretty lucky. Yeah.
How did you like think of like the business? Like, how did you like think of it when you were just starting from like looking at graffiti and everything? How did you make it into something?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
my question.
I think even before the business idea came up, I just, what you're into, you just want to do for your whole life.
Yeah.
I like football. I want to be an NFL player. So for the graffiti kid, I just want to paint graffiti for my whole life. And even during high school and college, I had been getting opportunities to paint for people.
Oh, that's cool.
So they knew I had a little bit of skill, and they said, hey, do this bedroom wall or paint the back of my garage. And I was already getting these little opportunities to do work and get that experience of working with the client.
Yeah.
And hearing their ideas and seeing what I can do with putting my own spin on it. But it's almost like I fell into it where
Yeah, okay.
I had just been getting opportunities as a kid and as a teenager and young adult, and then really I think I was 21 in college, and what really sparked my business getting started was a class project. I think it was a design class that said, hey, design your own business, make a name for it, make a logo,
Yo.
tell about what you do. And I'm in college, I love graffiti, and I thought, well, murals make me a little money, and I'm using spray paint, so I took that just as a chance and took the project seriously. But it's pretty wild that I had done so much work as a kid leading up to that point that it was just kind of natural and easy. So it's been a long journey, and I hope it's going to be a lot longer in the future.
Yeah,
So.
the stuff you made is pretty cool. You brought like some stuff that you made, like some pictures of your artwork.
Yeah, definitely. Just a couple images lately. These are going to show up too well.
Where was that one that you just did?
Yeah, this is my most recent project, a little tribute to a poster that was around Green Bay in the 90s.
Okay.
A guy snuck up the coal pile and skied down it one summer day. That's just been in the news lately.
Oh,
with,
that is
with
insane.
the coal piles and everything.
Yeah.
And, it's just fun doing some of these kind of public art projects around
Yeah,
Green Bay.
the one that I first seen was the one on the bridge. That one right there.
Oh, yep.
Of the Packer player. I was like, yo, that's insane. It looks like he's breaking out of like the bridge.
Yeah, that was
Like
a really
the tower.
fun one to do. Like, it's such a dream to get this location on that Main Street bridge. So many cars see it every day.
Yeah.
But the actual painting of it was pretty stressful with traffic whizzing by and
I can imagine, yeah.
pedestrians and people talking to you. So yeah, really cool project, but probably one of the hardest environments to paint in.
Yeah. Did you get like approval from the city? Did you have to ask somebody, or like how did that go?
Yeah, that was years of waiting, and I know some people who do events and stuff downtown Green Bay, so I just threw it out there. Hey, I'd love to paint this bridge, and if we can find a little bit of funding, I can make some stuff happen. This time was before the draft, so I think there's some interest in getting some football representation and some of the history on our walls. But yeah, oftentimes like I'll have a wall in mind for years and years, and it just takes forever to get approval and to actually to do the thing. So yeah, you got to be patient and put out a lot of fishing lines and see what comes up biting.
Yeah. How would you like think of like the pose for like that, like for the Packer player?
Yeah, with this one in particular, it's a football player from I think the 50s.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 62. Ray Nitschke. The bridge is named after him, but being that long ago, there was never a connection to me of who this guy was or why is this
I've heard of him.
The name. But my goal was to kind of bring it back to life and put a person and a face to the name a bit. And I guess this guy was around for those first Super Bowls, and he was a pretty serious defender. And I think he had some nicknames like the Brick Wall or just this huge tough
now
guy.
I see. Yeah,
some missing teeth under there probably. It just sounds like the toughest guy ever. But one of those important Packer players that helped us get our first titles. So kind of a cool way to honor him and represent our history a little better. And it's one thing to name a bridge or a street after someone, but when you see their face or their figure on that scale, I think it helps you connect to it more and just tell our history a little bit better.
Yeah. Do you like think of like it off the top of your head, or do you have like stencils that you use? Like,
oh yeah. So as far as getting that mural image up on the wall, I'm usually using a projector. So similar to something in the classroom where you need it to be pretty dark out, so that means working at night. And you just shine the image on the wall, you trace it quick, maybe in an hour or two, and then from there you can come back the next days and weeks and fill in the color and really work it out. But if you're not careful about proportions, that can really ruin a mural right away. If a eye's up here and the other eye's down there. And, it's so easy to ruin like artwork like that, so it can be tricky. But on this one I actually used the bricks as kind of a grid. So all those horizontal and vertical lines of the brick mortar, that was my grid. So I kind of used the computer and mapped out my outline to that.
That's insane. I didn't know projectors were like you could use that for that.
Yeah, I would have loved to use a projector on that one, but just with traffic and the street being there, can't use a projector. So sometimes you can freehand it if you're really good, or use a stencil too. But it's a challenge. I mean, each job is like, how am I going to get this done? I came up with the idea and I pitched it, and they're in for it. But it's sometimes it's my first time doing a certain image, or a wall that's this big or this kind of equipment. So you just got to roll with it and kind of take things step by step. It's always learning for sure in this world.
Yeah, for real. Like, what's like the longest time it took you to like make a project, you think? Like for like a wall?
Yeah, I think probably about 2 months is the longest on some of these outdoor murals. Sometimes it's like weather that delays things, or my own schedule a bit. But the bigger the wall, the longer they seem to drag on. And it's some of my most proud projects are those bigger, taller buildings. Spend a month on it or two, and if you invest that much, there's not many other people that are doing that, so you tend to stand out on how big you paint or some of the spots you do. But I'm pretty competitive, and I think that all comes from graffiti and wanting to be the best and better than the next person. So that's really connected and translated into my mural work, where I want all the spots, I want my name up everywhere, I want my my images all over town. So still got that drive.
Yeah. Like how did you like get your name out there, you'd say? Was it like social media, or just keep going, keep putting stuff everywhere,
I think it's a little bit of everything. I'm probably part of the early social media, first or second generation of that, so it was a lot different when there weren't advertisements every 2 posts. So I've had a lot of success with just connecting to people on social media, and word of mouth is a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So referrals from past jobs to the next job helped me a lot. And yeah, luckily in I think 11 years of business, I haven't spent really much on advertising. So
Wow.
I know that could be a huge, cost and expense. But luckily enough, Murals kind of exists as a billboard after you're done with it. So, my signature's there. If they like the work, they can pretty easily see who did it and, search me online, and we'll get going from there.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah.
And I see that you do like requests and stuff like on your page too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do some different like commission stuff.
Yeah.
Or yeah, sometimes I work with students and get other people involved in the painting process. But yeah, it's tough sometimes as an artist to collaborate with people and
Yeah.
varying degrees of how well you can work with others, or what's our vision and
Mhm.
can we agree on something. But yeah, as a professional artist, you really have to work with your client and hear their ideas and really focus on their needs. Primary, that's the number one goal.
Yeah.
Whether or not the artwork, you love it or not, it's just kind of secondary. But yeah, it's still a really cool line of work, and I'm lucky I get to pay the bills this way.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like how do you like find that much time to do that? Like since you're just like a one man like kind of
Mhm.
crew.
Yeah,
Like say you have like 10 requests, how do you like have the time to do it,
yeah, that's like a huge struggle for me. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a struggle my whole career. Is you probably overcommit yourself, and
Yeah.
then I just have the stress of 20 promises I made to people, and they haven't heard from me sometimes in months or years. So that can be a challenge to kind of create the systems and the funnel for getting requests and new contacts from customers, and then actually turning that into a completed project that's well executed. So on the front end of things, I try and keep it simple. I just ask for 3 questions to be answered.
Yeah.
If you want a mural, send me a photo of the wall, measurements, and your idea.
Okay.
And from there, I'll take that, and I'll usually I'm able to do one free estimate and design,
That's sick, yeah.
and spin it back and throw it back at them. But yeah, sometimes it's a really long process. People want things researched, and the mural should be about our history and our culture, and for me, just dipping my toe into that stuff, I've really got to kind of invest a lot of time, and that can be tricky. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will request your work, and just a fraction of those are people who will hire you, and you'll actually be able to get the job. So yeah, it's tricky to design your business in a way that kind of is efficient and flows people through your system well. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting better over the years, and yeah, keep working. But it's a real struggle.
Yeah, and I see you got like your own merch too.
Yeah.
You design all that stuff yourself too?
Yeah. I went to school for graphic design and painting, so I get to use some of those skills, and yeah, making my own business, and I get to do my own logo, and yeah, apparel's been fun. I've just done a couple different runs, like where I'll get pre-orders, and make a couple T-shirts or sweatshirts or hats, and yeah, it's just a cool medium, and it elevates your business when your logo's on your shirt, and yeah, it gives you some pride in your work too.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely recommend it.
Yo, I might have to cop one.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie. But how do you feel about like the AI art, taking over?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's scary.
Yeah.
I've used it a little bit. It's amazing how quick it is, and how you can type in a lot of stuff into that prompt and get some amazing results pretty quick. I do worry about like the future of artists and how much of this is going to be automated. I've already been seeing mural projects that kind of cut out the artist completely, and the business will take their idea, type it in, and then send that file to a sign company and kind of get it printed, and then present it as a mural. So I like that they're getting color and artwork on a large scale, in our environment. But yeah, it just does suck to lose some of that humanness of it.
Yeah, I think it's so dumb though.
The
like
real person.
I like the original stuff from people.
And if you take it into music, would you want all your CDs made by robots?
Yeah, it's just so
artificial
dumb.
stuff, or do you want a real person behind that song?
That's
it's
what
a
I'm saying.
good question, but yeah, I'll try and use it like if I can make my business more efficient. Maybe get some design stuff, some early work anyway, kind of offer it up to customers. I think could be pretty efficient that way. But you definitely got to put your spin on it and make it your own and keep the human touch if you're going to call it your own. You know, if I'm going to sign my name on it, most of it better be my, my soul and my idea and all that. But yeah, it's definitely scary.
Yeah, you're telling me. If you could go back in time to like when you first started everything, like the business wise, what would you give yourself like advice? What would you say to yourself?
Oh yeah, great question. I think like I'd have a response in each category of life or business, but yeah, I don't want to act like I've never made a mistake either, but just even the advice of keep going, you're doing things good and it'll all build one day, be patient. I think that would be good to hear because, yeah, I'm in like a career where there's not really an example before me, at least locally, there's not too many artists that have made a life painting murals. So I feel like I'm a bit of a pioneer in this economy. And yeah, that kind of means sailing in the dark or flying blind. And, sometimes you question yourself or you really believe in your instincts at other times. But yeah, I'm just really grateful I got into art early and started when I did. And yeah, there's not too much I'd change from those early years. I think it was still important for me to be involved with graffiti and even getting in trouble. Like, as much as I hated going to court, I was facing thousands of dollars in fines and, some other threats. It still had to happen for me to
push forward,
break free from the crime and start my business. And so I'm pretty grateful for my journey so far.
Yeah, I like that you made like a negative into a positive, basically.
Oh, for sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's all about how you look at stuff. And my mom's always been big on your attitude and your frame of mind. So I try and keep her advice in my head all the time and try to be positive and cheery. And sometimes I'm always on the bright side. So. That's my thing. So,
like, back to what you were saying, with, like, your advice to the world, what would you say?
There's so much, too, but, I think just for people to jump in and start working, if you want to be a painter, make a painting. If you want to start a bakery, get something in the oven and, put it in front of people. Start with a lemonade stand, build it to a garage sale, and, one day rent your own retail space, but things are such stepping stones and such little incremental, advances in this world that you just gotta jump in and get going. So, action I think is my overall advice.
Yeah. Just to take a leap of faith and just do it.
Yep, for sure.
Just do it. And that's what I had to do. I started with just one mic and didn't even have a camera.
Yep. Humble beginnings for sure. Yeah.
Thank you again for being on the podcast. It truly is a pleasure.
Yeah, great talking with you, man.